Why would I do a CD called Confessions of a Muslim Comedian? And that was the idea of bringing entertainment to Muslims, for Muslims, about Muslims, but for everybody.
I got Dean in my life. Who is Dean? What you bring Dean around here?
You know how Muslims get you all hyped up? And he said, brother, you ready to be Muslim? I said, yeah. He said, you know what that means? I said, tell me, brother. He said, you ready to give up the swine? I said, yes, sir. I'm giving up the swine. He said, are you ready to give up the alcohol? I said, yes, sir. I'm ready to give up the alcohol. He said, you ready to give up the women? I said, yes, sir. I'm ready to give up the alcohol. Hey everybody, Assalamu alaikum. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the notify button so you'll know when you're getting new episodes. And we just want to grow this project. I thank you in advance. Without further ado, let's get it rolling. The Shout Out Show.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuh, everybody. It's Preacher Boss, host of the SOS Shout Out Show. I hope all of you are having an amazing Wednesday. I can tell you I'm having a great Wednesday just by virtue of the fact I'm able to be here on the show with you guys. I think even more so, man, I've had a really, really reflective Wednesday where you wake up and you go, man, I really feel thankful for a lot of things. And I have a special person I'm going to be announcing to the show, but let me give the shout outs right up to our new people coming to the show. Here's the rules. Number one rule, we appreciate you being here. Generosity is a philosophy. We appreciate you being here, spending your time. You could have been other places, but you're here. It's number one. Number two is your voice matters. Your voice counts. Please, this is not my platform. This is your platform. And you should be able to feel free to say things within limits. I don't mean within limits, but just respectful of people's sensibilities about how you feel and the way you think, you know? And if you have something to say, please put it in the comment section. Don't be afraid to get your shout out. As well, if you don't mind, you're on the show for the first time. On the way out, particularly on YouTube, click the subscribe button, click the notify button, click the like button. If you like the show, if we earn that from you, please click all those buttons. Now, I have a visitor here I have not had here. I don't know if I have my this is my play mom. Now, see, with black folk, we have our moms, we have our play moms, because you know what? In the African tradition, we're all family. We're taken from different lands, language all messed up. But the one thing about black moms, I think they should be a union, basically, because black moms love black moms, love black moms. And if you're a real kid, you love your mom, but there's another woman in your life that's older who showed you love, compassion, and one of those people is in the building today. So I got stars in the building, brothers and sisters, but I'm going to start out with this one. Now, this is my sister, Felicia Chappelle. Her mother is Dr. Yvonne Sion, who just had her 83rd birthday. Mama had my 54th birthday. You know, yours is on the 20th, mine is on the 21st. Sagittarius rules. That's all I'm saying. And I want to thank you, man, for coming on the show. And I want everybody to keep her in dua, keep her in your prayers. She's 83 going on. What you going on, Mom? 21? She's just legal, brothers and sisters. And I do say this because, and I do say this, and I'm going to tell you why. A couple of years ago, we had Hurricane Harvey, and I couldn't get back to where I was going. I couldn't get back home. And I remember sitting with her, and we had played a couple of mean games of Scrabble. And I was constantly checking my phone. And this is a mother talking to her son. She says, boy, put that phone down. She said, go get your stuff out of that car, put it in that room, because you ain't going nowhere. And then we sat and we played Scrabble and we had something to eat. And I'm just saying, it's just love. A lot of you guys know when I put out Love Supreme, there's 3 people in the front row I want to acknowledge. One is Felicia Chappelle, the other one is my mother, and the other one is Dr. Yvonne Sion. I call her Mama Sion. So Mama Sion, thank you for coming on the show. You have gotten your official shout out. I hope everything is going well. And yes, indeed, I do owe you a couple Scrabble games because I miss out Scrabble games. And please forgive me for the time I tried to feed you to death. I apologize. I wasn't thinking, and it still bothers me. But please forgive me. I had good intentions. And okay, we're gonna go with our show dietitian, our craft services lady, Sister Ree, who is back in Michigan trying to take care of Auntie. God bless you. Anything you need from us, du'as, prayers, anything like that, Sister Ree, you got it. Whenever you come back, I got you covered. Don't worry about it. Here's Sister Satana, the consultant producer of the show. I appreciate you. Mom, don't go anywhere. This show is about you. Sister Satana, thank you so much for just keeping this show on the rails. I had a meeting with someone today, and it's like they were like, when we gonna upgrade? We're going to upgrade, brothers and sisters. The show is going to improve. You know why? Because you as the people who come on the show have improved. You've made the show better. So now we just want to make it better aesthetically. So we're going to be doing some different things. That said, brothers and sisters, doesn't mean the content is going to change. The sincerity is going to change. Just the warm feeling is going to change. I just want the feeling to be even warmer. All right? Okay, Docs. Mama Sion, I got you again. And we got Sister Aika from Indonesia. How you doing, Sister? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sister Rabina, thank you so much for your comments that you sent me on Instagram about Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I really appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that. I may have said it on the show, but one of the first people to take interest in me as a young comedian was a blues singer named Coco Taylor out of Chicago. And Miss Taylor was an amazing woman. She was an angel. But what I saw with Ma Rainey, I saw with Coco Taylor. And I'm not afraid to say it. I watched Ma Rainey's Black Bottom twice, and I cried. It bothered me that much. It cried. It touched me in a way that I can't fully articulate here on the show, but it touched me in a way. And it made me thankful for all the blessings I've had as an artist. But at the same time, having those blessings as an artist, it hurt me that these artists, these wonderful, talented artists didn't have that break because, you can call it Jim Crow, you can call it racism, you can just call it pure evil. People acting in a way where the evil really, really sought to underserve and undercut and undermine what these people's talents were. And they did it just for money. And sometimes I feel like they just did it for kicks. Mom Satana is giving you a shout out. Birthday greetings. Birthday greetings. So listen, I hope you guys don't mind. I kind of want to get to this thing. Courage of parents. Let me tell y'all something. You could take COVID. You can take the economy. You can take war. You can take famine. You could take plague. You could take everything. The one thing it's not going to defeat is the courage of a parent. Now, let me frame this a certain way. First of all, the courage of a parent is that they've already, in many regards, submitted to the idea that they're going to make sacrifices for their children that we'll never appreciate, that we may never see, we may never acknowledge, but they do that before you even come in the world. And what I mean is, and there needs to be more of this. I want to look it up. I really want to get a stronger bearing about it in terms of religious context. We say things in the Quran like heaven lies at the feet of your mother. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. What did he say? Your mother, your mother, your mother, and then your father. Can you stop for a moment and think about the complexity, the foresight, the miracle, the the physical, metaphysical miracle, if you will, of being a mother, and being a father. Like, how do you design that? Like, how is that designed? Like, I've seen animals take care of their young and their cubs, and then the cubs get up and they run away. We are a species that we grow up, and most of the time, 9 times out of 10, we come back to our parents to make sure that they're okay. We take care of them. And that is that express intellect that Allah puts into all of us, that we have that connection. We've talked about zakat before, but it is the ultimate, the giving hand over the lesser hand, but it turns into the giving hand over the lesser hand, in a term, in a phrasing, if you will, in a genealogical cycle, if you will, of how we love our parents. Like, I can't really tell you in a small conversation why I love my parents. Hold on a minute, brothers. I left out my main man. He always comes down. All right. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. But I'll talk all the way from Toronto, brother. I apologize, man. You were a little up in the comment section, but it's all love. You see, I just kicked in. I was like, wait a minute, I forgot somebody. It was you, my brother. Do not take it personal, man. It's all love from your man, Preacher Moss, and everybody else on the show. So Sister Rabina said, my dad lived under British colonial rule, and he can get through any drama in life. There's a story I always tell. And it's when I was a kid, and when I realized that my mother didn't have something, like what she was giving me was what she had, which meant she's going to have to do without. This is a story from years ago, but my parents are split at the time. When parents separate, the bills don't get taken care of without a legal emphasis at some point in time. But my mother was working. She was trying to go to law school. I was trying to hold my part down, and we just didn't have a lot of food. And I was young, but I didn't know that. And all I know is my mother didn't take her lunch with her this particular day. And so in my young mind, I'm like, I'm going to take care of Mom. And I made her a tomato and mayonnaise sandwich. That was all that was in the refrigerator, tomato and mayonnaise. So I said, I'm going to make a sandwich of it. And I made the sandwich, and I put way too much mayonnaise on it because I thought it'd be funny. But I gave it to her, and I cut it, and I said, here, Mommy, here's your tomato and mayonnaise sandwich with a couple pieces of lettuce on it. And I saw my mom look at me like, that was going to be your sandwich. Like, there's nothing left after that. Like, she's not going to go out to the grocery store. And I saw my mom recut the sandwich and give me one half and give her one half. And I bit into that sandwich, folks, and it was horrible. I hate tomatoes. But my mother looked up at me and she goes, wow. She said, this is the best tomato mayonnaise sandwich I've had in my life. You guys don't know what that meant when you're like 8 years old. It's like, I did something good for my mother. And she sat there and she ate it and she, boy, can I save mine for tomorrow? Without my mother saying, we don't have any more food, potentially till tomorrow. And that's what parents do. They protect you. I can't tell you about how many times my mother probably just saved my life by saying, no, you can't do X, Y, and Z. No, you can't go over here. No, you can't hang out with so-and-so. Even to the point, no, you can't go to school around Washington, D.C. You have to go out of state. We, at some point in time, underestimate the courage of parents. Even during this situation, the one thing that has not changed is the courage of parents. The ability to reframe what it means to stand up for something consistently, with purpose, and educate us on why this is important. and educate us on, you know what, this is what we used to do. You know, I get so much history from people who stand on things. They stand on principle. When I ask them why they stand on principle, they have a plethora of information of why not only they stand on it, but why it makes sense. I introduced Dr. Sion on here today. You know what? Y'all better recognize she's one of the last people that can tell you about Pan-Africanism. Generations of Pan-Africanism. She's a walking history book. And she sits and she lets me just ask all kind of questions. We're not worried about who her son is, not worried about who her daughter is. We're worried about that level of importance in society and history. And what's interesting, it's very protective. It's very protective. It's funny. As protective as you are as a child, I want you to know your parents are probably doubly protective. You know, because they know things about the world before you go out in the world. The toughest thing for a parent, let me give my brother a shout. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, little brother. We are talking about the courage of parents. You know what the courage of a parent is? A parent has to, at some point in time, trust that what they told you is something that you're going to value, respect, and when a time comes, when a test comes, when a trial comes, you're going to have the right answers. You're going to respond accordingly. You're going to be honest. You're going to be trustworthy. You're going to have integrity. You're going to have pride. You're going to stand for something. And that is the fact that the parent is almost like the teacher. The parent is almost like the teacher. A parent realizes that for a certain period of time, they only have a little bit of time with you. They only have a little bit of time with you. And that little bit of time is before you become an adult, before you get into high school, and you start listening to other people and getting other influences and other things pique your interest. And the toughest thing for a parent is watching the child go in the world. Understanding that things are going to happen to the child. The child is not going to be able to reach back and ask them questions. How do I do X, Y, and Z? Sometimes the child doesn't reach back because it's embarrassment or shame. Sometimes the child doesn't reach back because it's, I knew better. But a parent has to sit there and step back. I think the hardest thing for a parent to do is step back. I'm telling you something. Some years ago, I was with a friend of mine, and he was taking his daughter the first day of kindergarten. His car didn't start. I said, no problem, brother. I'm up anyway. I'll come take you. Picked him up, put the little child seat in, and I'm here to tell you, he dropped his little girl off, and the little girl went into kindergarten. And before we got to the parking lot, he was crying like a newborn. Literally, he jumped out of the car over the fence to try and peek in the window, make sure his little girl was okay. Literally, he was upset, like, I don't think she's ready. I'm like, dude, calm down. And we laughed. After a while, you know, I took me to get something to eat, but we laughed. And I said, you know, what you're going through is natural. Even before you become a parent, you're a teacher. I worried about my students. I worried about whether they ate, I was worried about whether they were safe, did they have shelter, blankets, were they warm, was there access to food, were they physically safe? I mean, it's a good test for being a parent. But it's the courage. And I only bring it up because we don't celebrate it enough. Is that fair to say? We don't celebrate it enough. I watch television now. I can watch the Disney Channel. It seems like a good majority of those shows celebrate that the child is smarter than the parent. Let me say it again, that the child is smarter than the parent. Let me tell you how old I am. I'm going to tell you how old I am. There was a show called Little Rascals. Our Gang, Little Rascals. And this was a group of children that ran around all day with no parents. With no parents. getting in all kind of situations with no parents, falling in love with no parents. Alfalfa and Darla falling in love, and they were kids. I did like the show, though. Don't get me wrong. I liked the show. You know why? Because I was young and I was stupid. But now I look at it, I'm like, how did that happen? Like, where are the parents? Who just lets their kids run around for a whole episode and don't jump in? Got somebody from the comic box. What are you talking about, JT? So I paid for my 8th grade class trip instead of getting my car fixed. I was on the bus for a month. Yeah, man. Yeah. You know what that is, JT? That is tomato and mayonnaise sandwich. Tomato and mayonnaise sandwich. Did the same one for my little one. You know, I've taken many bad flights just to support my little one. So I didn't go first class. I ain't go economy class. I'm here to tell y'all, man, I took Spirit. Hey, Reed, you hear what I said? I took Spirit. Yeah. Here's the deal. If you ever make a sacrifice for your child and take Spirit instead of a real airline, you know, whatever happens to you after that point, Allah's going to bless you. You can do whatever you want to after that point. You can actually get to Judgment Day. And the Lord goes, you did all these bad things. You're, hey, no offense, but see me on Spirit? Spirit. You see me on Spirit? That was for my son. He's like, man, I'm sorry about that. Come on in. Why don't we celebrate that enough? And what is this thing that's out here now? That there's this weird movement out here. It's almost a movement to see parents failing. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like these rap guys, they don't even bring the parents around them anymore. You know, these rap guys have totally insignificant lives. They have totally separate lives from family. If you notice that. And it's always put out like they got there themselves. They didn't get there themselves. They did not get there themselves. When play show, good or bad, a parent was involved. I'm going to say this, particularly as of late, for African American Latino kids. There's been an absence of what? Parents. I'll even go deeper. They don't even put, they rarely put black families together anymore. They're mixed families. Black father, white mother. White mother, black father, right? White father, black mother. I'm seeing this, and I'm trying to make heads or tail of it, but I think there's something there. There's something there. I actually think that it makes the case a lot easier for LGBTQ families to have children. That's my point. I said it. You can judge me, but I'm not pooping on anybody. I'm just telling you what I see. So could you make it, you know, all these things, you know, all these things around race, then there's never going to really be a full discussion about intersectionality around gender. Okay. Sister Rabina says, Disney is responsible for dumbing down of intelligence. I agree. One of the best cartoons that ever came out, and this is why I liked it too, was Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. And everybody can hate on Cosby if you want to. Do what you want to do. I'm talking about what I saw when I was a kid. What that show was really cool about is even though it was Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, and they had their their adventures or whatever, they didn't hesitate to show you a parent. They didn't hesitate to, and if you didn't see the parent, they showed you the children that had the sensibilities of the parents. That's why Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, you never saw drugs and alcohol. They taught about it, but the kids were clean. The kids were clean. The kids understood that there's a core value system in place for each and every one of them. Think about it. It's a bunch of black kids in a junkyard. Their band was made up of instruments that they've put together in the junkyard. And they played, and they sound like Duke Ellington or Count Basie. And I loved it. You know why? Because it was the elegance of both those same two guys. So, as we wind up here, I would like to celebrate the courage of parents. Beyond Mother's Day, beyond Father's Day, I'm talking about every day. Like, I try to make it a point to call my mother every day. And I'm trying to make it a point to call my other moms and be frequent in their lives. Let me tell you why it's important to be frequent in their lives. Because I didn't appreciate it when they were frequent in my life. Some of us lost our damn minds with our parents. Talking back, giving them a hard time, challenging reason. We knew we didn't want any. We knew we didn't know anything. But it was just that we didn't want our mothers and fathers to tell us we didn't want it. We didn't know anything. And so we rebelled. Foolishly, we rebelled. And the funny part was, we all came back with our tails wagging behind our legs, or between our legs, because you know what? That knowledge was there. So today's summary, if you will, is if you get a chance, call mom, call dad, get them on the phone. When they start to talk, shut up. When they're speaking, don't interrupt. If they repeat themselves or say something you've heard 100 times, shut up and listen to it for the 101st time. Be quiet. Appreciate mom. Appreciate dad. Don't judge them. I didn't say parents were perfect. I said parents had a lot of courage. And sometimes we forget that our parents aren't perfect, but they have a lot of courage. And you have to celebrate that. And sometimes we got to get out of our own way. And sometimes you got to get out of your own way. My mom just tuning in. Let me see here. Oh, we got Sister Rabina, the destruction of African American nuclear families. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Agreed. That's probably going to be another show. I agree. There's my mom. See, I'm blessed that during the bad times, you're always a partner with me to help me get through situations. Yeah. That's right, Mom. And the only reason I learned how to be a partner to get through situations with you is because you were a partner to help me get through situations. Now, don't get me wrong, people. I wasn't a rebellious kid. My mom ain't going to tell you, oh, my God, he was strung out on drugs. It was none of that. There's none of that. But I had my moments where, I was smelling myself, and I wanted to do it my way, and we clashed. It was a soft clashing. My mom allowed me to clash a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit, because she knew that it was important for me to develop a meaningful opinion on not only what she said, but what I was thinking. And it gave me a chance to evaluate, because sometimes I'm like, wait a minute, I'm way out of pocket on this. So, Mom, I appreciate that. And I've been, Dr. Shion is on here too, Mom. And don't forget to tell her happy birthday. She had a birthday on Friday. No, she had a birthday on Sunday. Sorry about that. My mom and Dr. Shion, they road buddies. I try and get them on the road every once in a while. So to wrap up, and I do this for the wrap up. There are people in your life who may not have been parents, but they were parent-like. Pray for them too. Pray for your parents every day. Whether they're here, whether they're not here, pray with just the same amount of energy, just like they were right in front of you. Because the guidance that they give you is a rare guidance. It's not commercial. It's not predictable. It's so organic. I can't really put words to it, but it's so organic. I can't put words to it. An imam asked me one time, he said, stop, brother. I was talking to my mom. He said, He said, "Do you love your mother?" And I looked at him like I wanted to fight. "Do you love your mother?" I said, "You love your teeth?" And I stopped. I said, "Why did you ask me that question?" He said, "Brother, I asked you that question because I always wanted to be at the forefront of your mind when you look at your mom or you look at your dad. And the question I just asked you, you're going to find out more reasons why you love your parents than what you were originally thinking." And at that point, I said, "Brother, I really appreciate you." So, brothers and sisters, please, 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 show mom and dad some love. And everybody who tried to be mom and dad, show them some love. Every day, at least once a day, figure out one more reason why you love them. One more reason why, doggone it, I gotta call you. I gotta make sure you're all right. Just like the parent does for the child, I gotta make sure my mom is eating. I gotta make sure she's got food. The same way they doted over you, you're gonna dote over them. And it's okay. Because you know what that is? That's the courage of parents. But now, it's reflective. Now, it's the courage of a child. Everybody, take care of yourself. Hope to see you tomorrow. Mom! Again, happy birthday. I appreciate that text. It was so cute. You fly at 21. You fly at 21. All right, everybody. God bless you and take care. And if it's Allah's will, I will see you tomorrow. Inshallah. All right. But if anybody, like I said, if anybody needs to understand what we're doing, just call. All right. I got to get out of here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Hey everybody, this is your brother Preacher Moss. Listen, I hope that you enjoyed your Shout Out Show experience. We'll be back with the next show, the next Shout Out Show. A simple ask before you go, please help your brother out. Click that subscribe button, click that notify button, and I'll see you again on this side of the microphone. You probably wonder what that smell is. That's me. I smell good. And the reason I smell good is because I use oils from Tarif Attar. So I'm not saying you can't smell good. I'm not even saying you stink. I'm saying you have the opportunity to smell exquisite. Check out tarifattar.com for some of the best oils and scents in town.